canal is an essential part of winter in Ottawa, especially in regards to tourism. We were curious to see how a World Heritage Site is able to affect tourism in the region when it is effectively free to participate in. We decided to interview people on the canal to gain insights into this topic.
Oh, at least once every year I've been alive, so 25 plus.
Oh man.
It's our first time this year.
This year,
but every year since we've
Every
been
year.
here.
Every year.
Maybe a dozen times.
100? Probably less than that.
I don't know, but probably tons.
10 times? A lot of times, actually.
I'd say I've been at least 5 times every year since I was 2, so that would have been 16 times 5, just like maybe around 70 times.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we
for
always
sure.
do. Yeah.
We have my daughter's fiance is from England, so we try to get out here, but December, but canal was open then, so.
I got a lot of family in PEI in the Maritimes, and every time they come up, they're always begging to be taken out in the canals. They always really enjoy it. It's something that everyone from out of town always hears about and wants to do.
We walk around the Parliament buildings, but no, we've never brought anybody to the canal, to be honest. I'd say the first time we came here with our kids, they were a lot smaller, and it was a lot of fun.
If I could get people to come up here more, I would bring them here. And I have friends who came last week. I wasn't here, but they all kept sending pictures of being on the canal because it's so cool. It's a big event.
It's just a great thing if you're with friends or family.
I mean, lots of them, but one I particularly like was going the whole length of the canal. Planned this with my friend, probably in grade 8 or so. We did the whole canal twice, and then we got beaver tails. And I think we started downtown, came all the way here, did Dow's Lake, went to the end, and all the way back. And it just felt like such an accomplishment because it's such a big deal, but it was also really fun.
Probably just memories of just skating with my cousins.
Once in grade 11, I had a class every Friday at 7:30, and so I got up at 5 o'clock one time, and middle of the, end of the night, but sort of it was still really dark. And I came out and I got all my warm clothes on, and I had my music going, and I was the first person out on the canal, and I was watching the sunrise, and I got there. It was really nice, and I was, ice was perfectly smooth, and it was just really great.
We keep talking about it, but we live in the suburbs, and we have bikes now, so we got new bikes, so we're planning on biking down here, but we haven't done it yet.
Never kayaking or
No,
running down.
we haven't kayaked.
It's really nice to bike around, get some exercise, and have a nice view to look at. And I wouldn't go swimming in it, but it's great to use the areas around it.
It's nice in the summer because there's all these boats, as I was saying, and you can walk along parts where they're parked and look at all the places they're from, and it's really interesting.
When there's fireworks, we watch them here, and it's really cool to see like the water effect from the fireworks.
You can run around all here, bike during the path. So sometimes.
I've considered kayaking. I don't usually go out on boats. I went out on a paddle boat once. I do a lot of biking around the canal, but I don't really do a lot of boating on it.
We interviewed Mr. Grant Hooker, the founder of Beaver Tails Canada. We asked Mr. Hooker about some of the highlights of his Beaver Tails business, specifically on the Rideau Canal. According to Hooker, the sales window for Beaver Tails on the canal is from early January to late February. However, this season there's been low sales specifically because of the sporadic weather. We asked Mr. Hooker if there are any other periods of low sales, which he responded saying that 9/11 and the new passport law have resulted in a large decline in Canadian tourism. Hooker continues saying that festivals are a major driver for sales, and it gives tourists a reason to come to our city, and that beaver tails are a part of the product mix of Ottawa. On an even more interesting note, he references a study he was involved in, where it's concluded that on an average trip, people take away 7 memories, 4 of which are food and beverage. This goes to show how important food is to the average consumer, and something Hooker focuses on when promoting beaver tails on the canal. Continuing on with promotion, Hooker said that recently he's experimented with scent marketing, releasing a sweet cinnamon sugar scent into the air on the canal. However, he said there hasn't been enough of a sample to come to a concrete conclusion, so it's currently a work in progress. Another interesting stat that Hooker revealed is that although sales volume for beaver tails is very high when the canal is open, business is apparently more steady in the summer months, something we didn't think was possible for a seemingly winter-focused company. Overall, Hooker gave us plenty of insight into the traffic of consumers his business deals with, the effect of festivals on tourism, his take on scent marketing, and even the effects of the 9/11 tragedy and US dollar. Now, back to the canal.
It seems to be busier, I think, but and more like there seems to be a lot of more new skaters.
It does seem to get more popular every year. It's definitely a big attraction, so it makes sense that there would be more people coming over time. Marketing must get better every year.
Yeah, I definitely think that more and more people are coming here, especially because, you know, the dollar isn't very strong right now. I think that may be a factor. I've seen a lot of people at my job, I've talked to a lot of Americans saying they're coming out just for family day or something, just so I can get skating on the canal, stuff like that, skiing, you know.
-4 degrees Celsius. Hot chocolate, beaver tail.
And smooth ice.
Oh, just the weather today is, although it's cold, it's gorgeous. The sun's out and it makes a big difference.
And beaver tail's a must. You're not really fully experiencing the canal until you've had a beaver tail. Do you grab another coffee at one of the shops, grab a beaver tail, and you know, as long as it's not too cold, keep your feet warm, skate, and enjoy the fact that you're sliding on ice.
Get a beaver tail at the end. It's good to go in the middle of the day because it's not as cold.
Yep.
Best when it's sunny, but not too warm because then it's crowded. And I like to do the whole canal when I can.
I'm like from noon till like 2 o'clock and then chill for the rest of the day.
Not really cold.
Beaver tail?
Good ice, yeah. Beaver tail.
It's all a matter of making it a nice experience for yourself, and no matter sort of what you do, it's gonna turn out well. So no, I don't think I can really think of a perfect day, but they're all pretty good.
Put it almost probably first because it's fabulous. In the summer it's cool because there's boats going down it, and it's got, I don't know, events. And then in the winter it's wonderful because you can skate. I mean, I love to skate, so it's definitely, I don't know, it's probably the coolest thing about Ottawa.
Absolutely, if you're here in the winter and it's frozen and the ice conditions are good, you have to come out.
I live in Toronto, and so I can tell my friends that Ottawa's exciting, and I reference the canal because it's pretty cool and unique.
Definitely number one.
Well, I'd say in the winter, definitely it's the first thing to do. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that you would rather do first, but that's also, of course, because it's sort of a one-off in that you can sort of go to the art gallery or what have you, or museums any time of the year, whereas this is only for a month or two maybe every year. So if I was someone coming to Ottawa, I would try to get here as fast as possible.
5 out of 8 people interviewed mentioned beaver tails when talking about their perfect day. This confirms some of what Grant Hooker has said. It also confirms a finding from Rongda Lang Austin et al., who found that food items can cause people to positively associate with a festival and influence them to spend more. When asked if they enjoyed beaver tails, all but one interviewee agreed. Mr. Hooker also mentioned they are part of the Ottawa product mix, something that one respondent notices as well.
They're good, and they're sort of like a representative thing of Canada and particularly Ottawa, which I like.
Kinchi and Yuxel found that tourists develop loyalty to a destination brand because it fits with their particular lifestyle. When the destination brand and the consumer's lifestyle match up, the product then leads to a more satisfying experience. It was clear by the number of times the interviewees said they had attended the canal that it fits into their particular lifestyle, which in part explains the positive attitudes towards the canal and beaver tails. However, it's also possible these results could be a byproduct of interviewing people that were actually skating on the canal. To conclude, the Rideau Canal is a major tourist attraction for the winter months, to the point that it is considered more important than even the Parliament buildings. The canal is a driving force for business as determined by the worship of the almighty beaver tail, and it is difficult to consider it as a tourist attraction when it really is an almost critical part of Ottawa's identity.